And if you act with such bliss and obliviousness as to treat him as somebody who's really just doing that out of the kindness of his own heart, never thinking for 1 second that you're going to give him 1 cent, it's actually a really lovely thing.
Thought this through, Dylan?
Yeah.
Glad you brought this up. Right. Multiple thoughts on this.
Yeah.
First one being, I don't know who you are. You could have a knife. You are, in fact, a zombie. You're very close to me, and you could stab me. Don't like it.
Oh, yeah. I would love to talk to the winemaker about what you've been doing. Okay, so I am a little bit confused with... What's up?
That would just be a funny 10-minute interview. Talk to a sommelier. You guys go back and forth for a little bit.
About what Pat's been up to with wine and consumption.
You ask him some snooty questions. You throw Pat under the bus a couple times. I sound ignorant. I think we could have fun with it.
I would love to talk to...
Guys, while you're starting the show or whatever, I'm going to get some red wine over there. I'm going to mix it up with Claw. I think I've made a drink.
Yeah.
Pat, you should call it wine. It's White Claw and wine combined.
So the reason why I am trying to wait for
WHINE.
this kind of what would you call it? This trailer park concoctionist to get back to his seat is because I'm really wanting to talk about the methadone clinic up the street that is the 7-Eleven.
The zombie lair.
The zombie lair. God, did I have a weird experience there today.
The library, if for any Halo fans out there.
Mm-hmm. What a terrifying place. It's flooded. You get it?
It's perfect.
So, Pat, you have often lamented the doorman.
The bellhop.
The Bellhop Zombie. Now, I encountered the Bellhop today, and do you want to let people know what that is, actually?
Oh, sure. Okay, that's when a zombie has taken it upon himself. It's never a her, so forgive me for gender. I don't want to just...
Genderizing, I think, is
it's
what
always
it's called.
a male zombie. He's always ready, very... got a lot of energy, making eye contact with you as you get out of your car. And
Congenial.
That's a great word. I don't know how to talk, Thank God I do a show with you guys,
Yeah.
Can you put a pin in your thought before I point something out that I just noticed?
Yeah.
Pat, at our live show,
Yeah.
he was feeling pretty good about himself. It's all he saw himself after, but like on night of, he was like, I look pretty cute because he is brand new.
Here, try this wine, by the way, we're talking.
I would love to. It's the Cobb salad of cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
And that is red wine. And is that Ruby Red Grapefruit White Claw?
Correct.
No. I'm actually good on that.
That's putrid, actually.
Oh, right.
Okay.
How could it not be?
But how could it has to be so bad for me to not
No, it's a
imbibe.
good point. It's like OJ and Frosted Flakes.
Pat, on the night of our live show, he was feeling super cute because he just picked up a vintage Budweiser T-shirt from Target. You know what I just realized?
Yeah.
It wasn't his only pickup in that haul because this seems like a freshie from Target.
No,
Am I wrong?
No, he's had...
I bought him the same day.
You did.
You did?
Absolutely.
I was going to wear this on stage.
I could. That is... It's meant
You
to
would
look
wear
old.
an unsightly green bedroom T-shirt on stage in front of people?
Green's good to draw in eyes for advertising a product, not good on a person on stage. So that's why you ended up with the white trash, that Bud Light shirt.
He walked out in front of Cherie with both these T-shirts on. He did a turn, and there's
Were
probably
you in my house?
there's probably a third option.
I can see
option.
Pat walking into the Target and that hydraulic hiss of those doors, and he just walks in, and there is just abundant opportunity before him.
Oh, there is. There's Captain America.
Right.
There's Bud Light.
Right.
Well, there's all things that are licensed at Target.
Hey, why don't you change?
You don't like my shirt?
No,
Well, it's not right now, but like you could.
Oh, in general, as a complete fashion sense.
As a complete fashion sense, I think Pat is due for a little bit of a makeover.
All right.
Don't you think so?
We got to get Kyle on here.
We have to get Kyle on here.
He'll
And listen, I
Well,
get
I've
it.
done pretty well for myself.
Listen, I get it. My shirt has a tear in it here, and my hair looks like it's, not sure what it's doing. I understand.
You're fashion forward.
Okay, so let's talk about the bellhop.
I wanted to say one more thing about his wardrobe.
Yeah.
The other thing that I noticed about it, to me, and I may be taking this in on my own, but I feel like it's him fully embracing the video. Instead of his usual ripped, torn, stained white T-shirt, he's adding a little zhuzh. And I honestly take it as the highest compliment, Pat. So look at me being all observant tonight and him nodding furiously.
That's really great. Yeah, he knows that nods are really good for the pod.
Embracing the video.
Look at that look. But I do want to speak on this bellhop. Now, listen, I understand where you're coming from. It is an inconvenience because you do know that the motive has a means to an end, right? You know that this is a transactionary thing, right?
For you.
Right.
And I would say it's at least top 3 place you don't want an inconvenience.
Yes.
At the convenience store.
Yes. Yeah. What is number 2 and 1?
I don't know, but I just didn't want to speak in hyperbole.
2.
Yeah.
This fucking lottery they got going on here that's going to hit $1 billion next week.
Right.
I go to 7-Eleven every day to pick up my lunch.
Every day.
Sorry, I go to 7-Eleven every day to pick up my lunch, and I'd forgotten because I watched the morning news. They're like, the mega lottery, whatever, is going to be $1 billion. And I'm like thinking, can you imagine if a fucking loser hits that?
Hey.
We've never seen a bigger loser. Have you seen the people buying the tickets?
Hey, they're fucking dreamers, man. Leave it alone.
And while I agree with your point, ultimately, that I think you're trying to make, the Mega Millions jackpot is a huge...
It's a racket?
It's a huge inconvenience right now.
Oh, got it.
That wasn't the question or the parameters.
Right.
Oh, it wasn't.
Right.
A convenience store is a top 3 place you don't want to see any inconvenience.
Oh, you don't think waiting in line behind 6 assholes is an inconvenience where they're going, can I get 2 5s? Oh, you want a 10? I don't even know what that is, but I heard that twice today.
Listen.
I will give up. No, do you want to just go to your point?
You must give up. I am only empathetic to these people because I met such a lovely, lovely woman today in that store. But before I get there, I do want to talk about the bellhop. So, you know that he wants something from you. You know that he has eyed you as prey. But if you treat it, you morph this bellhop into really a blessing. I mean, it's not often you get somebody to just hold the door open. And if you act with such bliss and obliviousness as to treat him as somebody who's really just doing that out of the kindness of his own heart, never thinking for 1 second that you're going to give him 1 cent, it's actually a really lovely thing.
Thought this through, Dylan?
Yeah.
Glad you brought this up. Right. Multiple thoughts on this.
Yeah.
First one being, I don't know who you are. You could have a knife. You are, in fact, a zombie. You're very close to me, and you could stab me. Don't like it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. And then the second thought. Now I'm insecure, and I always feel bad for these people in some capacity.
Right.
Because while you're a zombie right now, at some point you were a baby, and hopefully somebody loved you. But
you go there,
didn't.
huh?
Well, did you know 50% of the zombies out there were in foster care at some point?
Yeah, that's where they get bit.
Oh, shit.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to be there. They had a bad start, and then they never recovered, and that's how they're here.
But Pat, there are safe haven laws everywhere. I mean, you just carry it to term, dump it off at a fire station, see what happens.
Exactly.
We know. They turn into bellhops, Amy.
Anyway, so I want to avoid being stabbed,
right.
And also the anxiety of just getting out of the car and going like, I really want to tell this person off.
Yeah.
But that's not going to make my day any better.
Sure.
And then while I make my purchase of White Claw, and then I start walking towards the door, well, there he is again.
Right.
I hate the entire experience.
Yeah. Now, your thoughts on this? Now, I guess I'm not thinking about the danger of the knife.
Happens all the time.
I think it's because of my equilibrium. I walk through life pretty secure that I can evade and, dare I say, capture the weapon from any assailant, really.
You'd think.
You guys are doing just a incredible volley of my opinion.
Right.
You had me swayed.
Good podcasts do that, Nick.
What a great point. I'm not even going to pay attention to them. I'm going to walk in like these are automatic doors.
Right.
But Pat goes, what if he stabs you in the back?
Right. That is such a, that's such a huge
or tries
deterrent.
to steal your shit.
Right.
But then you actually brought it back.
Right.
These zombies are so heroin fentanyled out. They're slow reaction. You don't think I'm going to understand?
Yes.
I'm going to give a quick turn and stop a knife?
You'll turn into and look like John Wick because of their molasses slow action.
Mm-hmm. That being said,
it's Max Payne.
I'm going to go back to Pat's point, the empathy. So I think the move is that we'll keep your eyes on them at all times. Right. They open the door. You walk past. You grab a quarter for their pocket. They don't have a fucking price. You flip them a quarter. You keep your eye on them.
Got it.
If they drop it, you kind of look like a fucking
a real big piece of shit monster human
don't
being.
Do that.
Yeah.
So we go back to the drawback of their slow, or it's a gift and the curse. Slow reflexes.
That's a bad idea.
No. I say you flick the quarter at them, keep your eyes on them. But you utilize it because it is nice to have the door open.
Now because I am so. Yeah, I'm thinking about how to tie this into things, but I'm so spooked out by zombies, and just the overall coldness of Los Angeles.
Oh, well, I'm going to set this up good because you mentioned like you were talking about how service sucks. It's all tied in, Dylan.
Right.
When leadership in a city says hands off the steering wheel, except in certain sectors.
Okay, it's not where I'm going at all, but
no.
Yeah,
you were gonna say like you walk into a store and people, hey, what the fuck do you want? Where
okay, so the leadership wasn't
well,
quite gonna go
when
there,
all
but yeah.
rules are off and you let chaos take over the city. There is a through line of anxiety and I don't care about this place and fuck everything that is palpable through the entire city. There needs to be systems where people go take pride in your job, take pride in the city.
Yes.
And when you see and you drive by homeless zombie encampments and people shitting on a sidewalk, you go, no one cares. So why should I care? When Dylan walks into the store and says, do you have these cigarettes? You can tell him and make eye contact. Go fuck yourself, sir.
Okay.
Before
Sorry, I got a little heated there.
No, I don't think you did.
I just wanted to compliment us all on seeing the same problem and reverse engineering it to the problem.
To Gavin Newsom?
No, to the origination that
he doesn't run this city.
That fits our worldview. Because I think what you're lamenting, Dylan, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it and the real reason you brought this all up.
Right.
But I believe it is a result of us having our face covered. Well, essentially, our face covered up for a year and a half, and now we don't trust our fellow man. Because, God damn it, we need to learn. We communicate with facial expressions.
Hey, don't make this political.
I'm trying not to.
All right. I think you failed conclusively.
He did, not me.
Yes,
yeah, I am the only one that did that.
So I'm a little spooked by the zombies and the overall coldness of Los Angeles, and I hope to successfully tie this whole thing together. But there is a chilliness in this city, and there are failings of institutions that are blowing this cold air all over us, and we're experiencing it everywhere. But anyways, I'm spooked by all this, so I walk in, and
walk in where?
To 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay.
The bellhop's open the door for me, and I walk in, and I go grab my Arrowhead. You know, we've talked about it before. It's on the bottom rung of spring water, but the bottom rung of spring water is above all filtered tap. And this guy, he's got a tattoo. I don't know. He could be a zombie. I'm not sure. Goes, hey, I need your hand with something. And I'm just like, you know, I want a little bit more Rockwell. I want a little bit more Stepford. And I don't mean to associate that with like white in any way. It's just like a cheerier, less freaked out about other people kind of.
Your thought process, why is this stranger asking me for some help? Because if you lived in North Carolina and you were in a liquor store and someone said that to you, you wouldn't balk at it or have a second thought. You'd say, how can I help you?
Right. I want to live.
Grab your bat and you'd be like, let's get him.
I want to live in a pre-Manson Laurel Canyon. I want to live in a time when people didn't lock their doors. So this guy's struggling with this case of White Claw, and he's like, hey, I need your hand. And I was like, oh, I don't know that I could help you out in any way. And he's like, no, I think you can. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say, but also what I said was weird. So I go, all right.
Shocked you didn't give up at your initial response, which is, I forgot what you said, but it was pretty weird. I'd be like, well, I'll carry this. I'll just start dragging it on the floor.
Well, what I said was, okay, I'll help you. I put my stuff down, and I try to yank this thing out. It's stuck. We both together, I lift up one of the racks. He takes it out. It's teamwork makes the dream work. He gets in a washed car, outside of the store. He was just a regular guy. We both...
But you don't know anymore.
But I don't know anymore.
You don't know.
We chatted up with this wonderful woman who has a Yorkshire Terrier with a summer cut named Cha-Cha. She's buying her first lotto ticket, and I was pissed. Of course
she was.
I was like, oh my fucking God, I've got to stand behind this woman getting lottery tickets. But she was very bashful because I do believe it was her first time. I did not know that it was ticking towards $1 billion. So, this kind of chilly partition between all of us is something that I'd like to break down in this city. I'd like to fight against the New World Order, Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum with their, environmental social credit scores and stuff like that. That is chilling us out a little bit.
Well,
and I'm joking, kind of.
Dylan, unfortunately, you're going to need to move out of a big city because Los Angeles right now is it's hopeless.
No, what you're going to have to do, and this is going to make you absolutely irate, Dylan.
Yeah.
You have to get multiple passports, escape the matrix, and build wealth beyond just what the normal person thinks of it, just like Andrew Tate says.
Okay,
Oh.
I am so mad.
You're mad at him right now. I want to give you a
don't
story.
want to hear the name Andrew
Dylan,
Tate.
But he is offered the solution for what you're railing against.
Nick and Dylan.
Escape the matrix.
Time out.
You guys, time out for 30 seconds. You guys are
Not
friends.
on
I
this
was
show.
saying. I was
Not
saying.
on
Oh,
this
sorry.
show.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I take it back.
PMZ is at patreon.com. That's where we're giving timeouts.
But
And it's more organized as a show, quite frankly. Let me tell you this, though. You guys both like me, right? You've known me for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
We've been buddies. We've had our bouts, our fights. But I
Right.
think you look at me and I look at you guys the same as good people.
Yeah.
If something really went down, I think you guys would do the right thing.
Yeah.
Let me share to you, Dylan, just a quick story where it might give you a little more hope to the city.
Okay.
But it is about your buddy Pat. I was in
Oh,
Santa
it's about
Mon-
something that you did.
Yes, but I actually
Okay.
turned another person
Okay.
from being a dick into a good person.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I'm on driving on 7th Street in Santa Monica on Thursday. And I'm just driving along, do-de-do-de-do, and this fucking Uber car pulls out of a parking spot and smashes into my car.
Oh, cool.
What day did this happen?
Thursday. So I go and I pull up at a parking spot because, it's a car accident. You got to exchange the information, right?
Sure.
Right. So I get out of my car. I start
Unless
walking.
you hit an undocumented immigrant, then there's literally no information
It was a
exchange.
guy on the spectrum, fully on the spectrum. I'll show you his driver's license.
Then you find out how much money they have in your pocket.
No.
And you just keep pointing at your
No,
phone.
it's actually really sad. I've done it before, but we were joking there. It's just the best person to hit of all time.
Oh,
It's
well,
just like,
I
you
thought
go your way. Well, it's just not, we'll drive on. Don't worry about it.
well, that kind of conversation went down, except. So I get out of my car. Someone hit me. It's been 4 or 5 years since someone hit me. Or actually, I hit the person 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I get out of the car, start going down like, fuck, this is going to make me late for because it was a small hit. It was one of those things, and I don't care about my work truck.
Right.
So I get out of the car, start walking, and I'm greeted with the, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I quickly, in a
Okay.
most politest way, said, what the fuck?
Right.
You hit me, you idiot.
Yeah, the most politest way you could do it.
And he goes, oh. I go, do you realize when you pulled out of a parking spot as I'm driving
Yeah.
my right the way and you hit me, that's your fault.
Right.
And he quickly recoiled. He's like, okay. And he puts a smile on his face like, oh, nice try, buddy. Anyway, I look at him and he's got, I didn't realize at the time that he was an Uber driver, but now I'm looking at the damage on his car. His bumper hit my corner of my front passenger side bumper. Anyway, don't worry about the details, but people that listen intently, they want to hear the details.
Could I ask like a really unimportant detail? Where would you say this man hailed from?
He's from the Valley. I have his driver's license.
And his ancestors?
Russian. So
because that was a very savvy maneuver to go on the offensive. Why'd you hit me?
But that's the worst part of Los Angeles.
Okay, hang on. Where were you going with that?
Oh, I thought it was a Russian or Armenian. I was thinking Armenian.
What the hell, bro? So anyway.
The last bastion of bias.
Worst part
I'm very uncomfortable with what all was just said.
Not me. I didn't say anything bad.
I have Armenian friends.
So
you did an Armenian impression. Well, I have Armenian friends too. Very uncomfortable.
Okay. So I walk up to this guy and he backs down. And so here's where we are in the story.
I'm not that uncomfortable. I mean,
I find out he's an Uber driver.
It's okay.
I'm just teetering on telling the time I got kidnapped by Armenians, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, save that for another time.
I know.
We're talking about Los Angeles and saving it. So the typical thing that wouldn't happen, I hope, in a small town where people kind of know each other and have, I don't know, ethics and morals and not just worried about the other person that might fuck you over. So you got to fuck them over first, which is our total mentality here in this horrible city. So I go to him. I go, well, you hit me. And he concedes. And I go, yeah, there's probably fucking cameras here if you want to make any more out of this. And so he's cool. And then he's like, I need to drive today. You know, he's an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And his bumper is kind of like hanging sideways. And he's like, you think I'd make it over the 405? I'm like, I wouldn't risk it. Yeah. So now we're having a common exchange about work. We're not talking about like, hey, you almost killed me and who's your lawyer? And
sure.
So I go, all right, get your insurance information. I'll get my insurance information out. We'll switch it. They'll pay for your car. My insurance company will pay for my car. And he tells me, he's like, I really need to work today. And I'm like, all right, fine. And he's like, he's looking at his bumper. And I'm like, I get under his car and I actually fucking detach the bumper because it's like so low to the ground that it might like he kill somebody on the 405. Yeah. And I go, open up your back seat there, buddy. You dropped this off at home. We open up his fucking back seat. Throw the fucking bumper in there, detach it. There's some little hassle of like detaching some electronics or some shit.
Lights.
And then he goes, hey, thanks for doing that. And I was like, no prob. And I go, I'm going to call my insurance company and you call yours.
Yeah.
And don't try and fuck me on this because there's footage everywhere.
Right.
And he says, have a great day. Yeah. And I said, you have a great day. And I think I gave that guy... Because most people will be like, you hit me, and you start going, my fucking arm hurts. I'm going to call an attorney. Instead, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Fix your car. Continue your day. I'll fix my car.
Anyways.
And hopefully I passed on some humanity to this person who came out of the gate with the, I'll fuck you before you fuck me attitude.
Right.
I'm trying to fix Los Angeles one random car accident at a time.
Have you been meditating?
Why was that too random?
No, because how zen you were in that situation.
I'm
when
like
someone
that.
hit your car and attacked you.
A guy rear-ended me like fucking 5 years ago. His radiator blew out. I drove him home, and it was a palatial mansion in Beverly Hills, and I dropped him off at his fucking house.
Yeah.
I never called insurance. I don't give a fuck.
You have been meditating.
Anyway, the recent police report with this accident said Pat was in a rage, ripped the bumper off, and threw it.
Right.
And
100%.
And you are now at fault.
Be nice people.
Well, it's funny because I had to go to the mechanic today. We're going to Colorado at 4 o'clock in the morning. Local mechanic charged me up the wazoo. I'll never go back. But as I was walking home, as I dropped the car off, yes?
I think the way to not get screwed if you aren't like pinching pennies or paycheck to paycheck is take it to the dealer. You're going to pay a premium, but they're going to fix the problem.
Sure.
Do it right.
Yeah, this was just a routine thing, and it was down the street, so I was just like, check on the car. But yeah, you're right, overall. So I'm walking home, and there has been this building that they're working on, and we have not known what it is. We're wondering, what is this thing going to be? Is this going to be a bar? Is it going to be
might be one of those work, live, plays?
It might be one of those places. It could be a pizza shop. It could be, well, what is this going to be? And we've asked people who are working on the building. They have no idea. They just, get told to build it. They're not sure what the fuck it is. But today I walked past Botanica, a beautiful restaurant that we've been to many times. It's literally, it's a stone's throw away from our apartment. And I see the owner. And I say, hey, do you know what's going on in there?
Is it Cuban?
No. It's like Mediterranean. Great hum. They do great hum. He says it's going to be a rotating jewelry and art display for local jewelry designers and artists. And we both went,
we don't want that here. Yeah. That's going to bring some of the snatch and grabs. Is that what you're thinking?
No, that's not what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Jesus. No, I'm thinking that selfishly, I can't get anything from that.
Oh, you want a coffee shop?
We already have the Mill, but no, I want another cool spot, something that provides me, natural wine store maybe, something that provides me with mirth. But this is just a jewelry store. But anyways, we both lament the fact that it's going to be that. He says, I wish it was a pizza shop, and I leave. And I'm walking down the block, and I think, these artisanal relationships, these neighborhood relationships need to be cherished, like a budding seed. You need to make sure these things grow. And I didn't introduce myself. I didn't tell him that I love his restaurant. And I walked too far to go back and do it. I felt too weird about it. But it's those types of things that are just dying. And it's not just with artisan. I feel like this area, people are kind of having more special relationships. As Klaus Schwab lays waste to our landscape, people are recognizing it's good to know the person down the street. But businesses from mom and pop up, we're losing that Rockwell kind of thing where the transaction should be a pleasant thing. It shouldn't be a fucking nightmare all the time.
Well, here's Los Angeles. Everyone's on guard. We've covered this in this podcast that we've talked about. Everyone thinks like someone wants something from you, or they hate you, or it's always, you're always questioning what the other person might want out of this exchange. And my example was, bumping bumpers. We need to fix this city one step at a time. How about an exchange where, hey, how you doing, in a wave?
Let's do a wave.
We don't need to talk for 5 minutes.
Right.
We live in LA. We think we're better than other people, so we have better things to do with our time. Why talk with this guy and make small talk about how he opened up the pizzeria?
Yeah, and we are better, because it's such a great place. So let's be better and be good to each other.
Mm-hmm. Dylan, you're learning. You've done the work.
Yeah. You've been meditating.
I've been meditating. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Headspace, for sponsoring this show.
Eventually. I have so many thoughts.
Yes. You haven't spoken, and I think we've been going for 40 minutes. I'm not sure.
40?
No.
Because you were on a run that I agree with so much. I just love that you're thinking about these things. Your interaction to make the neighborhood better, and I think actually you made the right choice. But what I wanted to say was...
good. You're taking notes.
Yep. I'm starting to do
Smart.
it. You said we need to wave to each other. I initially said we should all do. I thought you said we should all do the wave.
Yeah.
Right. But both things are like things we could all do together.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
Small things that show we're all on the same page.
Yes.
I loved. You mentioned the other day that Ronald Reagan had a thing where the neighbors should go
hands across America.
Right.
I fucking love it. I said it at the time. I've thought about it. I fell asleep thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it's almost as good as trickle down.
It's way better than trickle down, even though that's also
great.
In my opinion, be a selfish person.
Yeah.
Try hard. Take care of the people around you, which is what you're trying to do.
Totally.
But I think it was smart of you to not all of a sudden, hey, I live here. You have a business. Let's fix this fucking neighborhood.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
I know, but I'm just saying there's a middle ground. You now met this guy. You're gonna go in there again.
Right.
You build a relationship. Baby steps.
Right.
Let's get a fucking that garage sale above here, out of here, and get it maybe like a dentist who cares about the neighborhood.
No, don't want that either.
Oh, hold on. Can I? Hold
dentist would be good.
You want to build an actual sustainable community.
Nick, I want to prove myself once again as a person that's trying to do and accomplish what Dylan has done. When I first moved to this neighborhood, which is the first house I've ever lived in.
We should call this episode Pat's Good Guy.
Yeah, Pat's an awesome guy. So we get this house. I couldn't believe my good fortune. I own a house in a kind of a decent neighborhood until all the zombies took it over. And the first thing I did after we were here for like a year is I was like, I want to bring the community together. My wife and I, we printed out, this is long before the kid.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of time on our hands.
A block party, huh?
Not a block party. But I heard the lore of this neighborhood used to actually have one in which the entire neighborhood came out and they shut down the streets and spend an entire Sunday getting to know each other, eating hot dogs, having the kids do little pony rides. And that is a day long gone.
Right.
So
because now what would happen is you'd be on the ponies and a zombie would walk by with his cock out and go, "Hey kids," and then you go, "Hey, what are you doing?" You go, "This is what I like to do." Yeah,
and then
this is what I'm passionate about.
Look, we need to be more. Anyway, sorry. So when I first moved here, I bought a gigantic movie screen.
Yeah.
And I planted it on my front. Well, I went out and I handed invitations on everybody's mailbox. It said, "Movie night on Saturday.
Right.
We're all going to watch E.T.
Right.
Bring your kids. There'll be popcorn there."
Right.
I live in a community where, how many people do you think live in this little island that I live on?
100, 150
people or houses? There's probably 100 houses in this community.
I think
Anyway,
we have to drill down on what we're talking about for area. He's thinking of a different spot.
West Toluca Lake.
1,000 people.
Thousands. We didn't stop. We went to every house and handed out a flyer. Movie night on Saturday. E.T. Bring your kids. Bring your family. Would you like to know how many people showed up to that?
Before you give us that horrifyingly low number.
I can't say because I was there.
Why?
Sense of community.
No.
Oh.
Why would you?
Sense of community is the answer to your...
Oh. I thought
sense of community.
Hand out flyers to have people come to his front lawn to watch.
We've lived here a year. We don't know
but so let's say 20% of the 1,000 show up. You have 200 people at your house.
I didn't care. I probably bought food for 200 people. I had a hot dog thing out here and a popcorn thing out here. Like, I was ready to go.
Have you seen the projector?
Yeah.
It could be seen by 200 people as long as Marty, who is no stranger to having extra people on her property, doesn't care about a little bleed over.
Right.
He can fit 200 people watching ET in his backyard.
That's true.
It could have been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scene.
But how many people showed up?
8.
Wow.
8. And a few people emailed because we had our email like RSVP.
Yeah.
And we knew it was getting pretty sad towards Thursday leading up to the Saturday.
8.
I had never seen ET start to finish.
Yeah, it's good. So there is a chilliness that exists, right? And it's bubbling up between us. We need to abolish it. We need to fight Klaus Schwab. But it's happening with companies too. Like, and every business I interact with lately is just, where did the white tablecloth go? Where did the care go? I mean,
people talk shit about, but circumstance.
Let's
bring it back.
Let's bring it back and let's care a little bit. I mean, from boba time to Kaiser Permanente. I walk into boba time and it's like, these kids are all fucking TikToking and doing whatever the fuck they're doing back there, and I'm waiting 22 minutes for a fucking Thai iced tea. I mean, it's nuts.
We went to so you and I go to this Red Lion place. I'd never been, or maybe I was, but too drunk to remember.
Red Lion Tavern, Dodger Hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I show up there a little late. Maybe I had a couple pops in me. Maybe I was being inappropriate, but I don't think it was being rude to anybody.
You had 7 pops.
I sit in a chair, and we're sitting around a table, and the waiter comes up. Well, it took forever to get the order in there. Being kind of rude there. And we're ready to spend some money and have a good time.
Yeah.
And I push my chair away from the table because there's so many people there.
Right.
So many people, God forbid, ready to spend some money
and
and buy some drinks and a ton of food and tip.
Keep
Anyway,
you employed.
I push away about 3 feet from the table and also to be able to talk because we're a big group.
Yeah.
And the waiter walks by me, the waiter that's serving our table, gonna take our orders. He says, "You're in everybody's way." End quote. You're in everybody's way. Not in a funny way, touching my shoulder, joking. Just, I hate you.
Right.
I hate this job.
Right.
I hate everything.
Right.
Almost to the point where I don't care about existence.
Sure.
And then he walks away, and I still am like, well, I want to find a way to tip that young man.
Yeah.
But he's a fucking jerk.
Well, it's super pervasive. Like I said, boba time to Kaiser Permanente. And I mean, what's up?
And you're leading to a beautiful point, which I think is gonna illuminate this issue for everybody. But before we do, I just want to give a quick PSA in the middle, which is also ties in because I think it's actually a solution to what might bring the country together and get rid of this chilliness, this cold front that has approached us. And I actually think Dana White has said, Paddy just coming off UFC London, huge win, submission victory over this twink Jordan
twink,
11. I look into it; it makes sense. It follows. He's got a little sugar in the tank.
Okay.
That's all right.
I don't know what that means.
Paddy subs him, gets the O2 Arena rocking. He's the biggest thing in the sport right now. He's living up to the hype. I don't think he's championship material. Nonetheless, Dana White says there is going to be a fight between Paddy Pimblett and Conor McGregor. And it is going to be, I think, the biggest pay-per-view in all of combat sports history. And people who know me, they're going to be surprised by this. I think, actually, if I'm going to see, I haven't seen any lines. There's no lines out for it. I think Paddy by sub, plus 700, plus 800, Paddy by sub.
Okay.
But there's going to be a co-main event. And there's probably going to be some outcome that I also predict I think will happen. And I would like to combine those two predictions into one bet. It would be parlaying prop bets.
Right.
I can't do that because my under the table book does not allow you to parlay prop bets.
Yeah, if only it was legal to gamble in this state.
It could be if all of us just join hands and vote yes on Prop 27.
You call it Oleomo. We call it we call it Oleomo. You call it California. Vote yes on Prop 27. But it goes from boba time to Kaiser Permanente, There is some stuff in the middle too. AT&T, I sign up for renewed payment. What do you call that? Automatic payment?
Auto pay.
And I sign up for AP, and then at the bottom in fine print, italicized with a couple asterisks, check back every month for the next 3 months because this might not work. What?
Wow.
What?
Good for you reading the fine print, though. Most people don't do that.
Wait, what? I have to come back here and check every month to see if I'm not late on my bill after I've signed up for this service you're offering? Where's the white table? Then I go to Kaiser Permanente. I'm trying to get psychiatric care and really just drugs. And they are they're making me fill out all these forms and do all these things and portals and whatnot.
They're going to give you drugs at the end of it,
I'm not complaining about that.
Before the failure of Kaiser Permanente to give you health care, which will prove the poor customer service recently.
Yeah.
I forgot my other thing.
Oh no!
You forgot it. Write it down. Put in your notes on your knee.
It was too fast to write it
Yeah.
down. What was the other thing you
hold
lamented
a pen.
about?
Well, so the thing was
What was the first thing?
Well, boba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kaiser drugs. You were trying to get
all right,
drugs.
everything sucks.
Well, so
no, he's killing it.
Well, so I'm doing all these portals things and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And this woman calls me at 3:00 on a Friday, and I'm headed up the coast, and she's like, "Hey, is right now a good time to talk?" And I'm like, "Not really, but if it's quick." She takes 10 to 15 minutes of my time, no problem. I'm trying to get these drugs. I want these drugs, and she's saying that she gave me all these instructions. Document 2, you got to do this. Document 4, you got to do this. And I go, hey, it's not a great time to give me specific instructions. Can you give me a ring on Tuesday? She said, what time works for you? I said 1:00. She says, okay, great. If I don't remember, give me a ring at around 3 or 4. Again, what? Wait, what? You work for the healthcare company. You remember. Just remember, set a reminder that you have a client you need to call.
It's Salesforce.
It's Salesforce. Why do I have to call you? Why do I have to check? Why do I have to be spooked out by a man asking me for a favor in a 7-Eleven? There's a chilliness, and we need to make it hot.
Dylan, once again, we're going to call this the Paddy's a good person. Yeah. Are we going to round it out? We're trying to end this show or something? Nick, you want to go?
Yeah, I don't think I tied it all together really, but, but there is a chilliness.
Before you tie it all together, I do have a point.
Yeah.
Your second example of the chilliness was the perfect reminder of the point that I forgot.
Right, of course.
But you've remembered it now.
I had. No, just kidding. Except I wasn't. I forgot it, and I got it back.
Right.
I actually hold on. There's 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how porous.
I actually respect the idea of the customer service. It's like what we got throwing up their hands and being like, "We're negligent.
Right.
We need your help.
Right.
If you want this to go, your expected outcome." Assist us.
Right.
That's better than just not caring. But you tie it together, Pat, and cut me off and rush me.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
No, he's done. He's done.
Okay.
And I attempted to tie it together. I mean, there's just a loose chilliness with pretty much every human interaction, and especially interactions with business. Foster the little ones, kill the big ones. The monopolies must end. We must fight Klaus Schwab. Go ahead.
But before he ties it up, I'm just going to hand this one quick loose thread and hand it off to Pat so we can just finish this beautiful tapestry we've weaved.
Get ready to play some clips.
Vote yes on Prop 27. Trop.
Yeah, that'll make Nikki's life better.
Yeah. Vote yes on the Trop House.
And half of Native Americans in California.
So let's wrap this up. It started out with zombies. It's going to end with zombies. So as the audience knows, on Memorial Day, which was just, 2 months ago, I had a zombie crystal meth head show up on my front lawn, scare my daughter, my wife. She called me. So I instantly, we called the cops that day, and we had a police report. Not only did she terrify my family, being on my property and stealing my sound bar, but...
That was a nice sound bar.
It was a nice sound bar. It was like $100.
Yeah. Coincidentally, almost a year to the day, because I just signed up for Time Hop or download Time Hop. You had sent the video of the other zombie that
was
grabbed
a year ago before. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you grabbed.
They come out on holidays.
It's crazy.
They have a lot
what
of time.
What was that song?
They have no respect for the veterans. They grabbed a package. He walked out. He said,
I chased the girl down the street. She had a skateboard, and I threw her fucking skateboard like 50 feet away.
Yeah, and she just didn't give you anything.
She just looked at me. She's like, "Can I just have my skateboard, bro?"
Yeah.
Loser.
It'll be on the video as we have it. I downloaded.
So Dylan,
it
actually, I want the other clip up first. I sent you a screenshot. Yeah. So when that zombie showed up on my front lawn that terrified my wife and my 2-year-old daughter was behind the window about 8 feet away.
This year.
This year. That started a process, a police report, and the police told me, hey, there's nothing we can do. Just call your city council member, Paul Gregorian. So I did, and I think I mentioned on this podcast, I had a nice conversation with someone who said from his office, when you're talking to me, you're talking to Paul. And I said, that's fine. Yeah. Did I ever mention that?
Oh,
Him and I kind of had it out for about 30 minutes. I made a lot of good points. He took a lot of umbrage when I said, history will not look well on leadership in this city.
You know what? I was about to go, well, he was lying to you. You weren't speaking to Paul. You were speaking to him, and Paul will probably not even hear what you told this man.
What was his last name?
Paul Gregorian is city council number 2.
Yeah, right. But he was saying that if you speak to me, you speak to Paul. But
I was setting up a joke. If you want him to hear us, we need to get a Gregorian chant.
Yes, we need to get a Gregorian chant.
Paul.
But I didn't want to bite on the chilliness. I didn't want to think that the worst of that man, what that man was doing was something great. Hey, I'm here for you. When you're talking to me, you're talking to Paul.
That's what he said. But he also tried to gaslight me, and I hate that phrase, and I hope that's one of those things that goes the way of the dodo bird in the next couple of years. I never want to hear that
you're
again.
addicted to doing it to me, so.
I've never said you're gaslighting me.
No. I'm kidding. I'm doing a thing.
Oh, okay. So anyway, this guy tells me that homeless problem's going down. I said, yeah, but there was a zombie on my front yard, and we need to get rid of this. It's scaring me, and can you do something about this?
Yeah.
And he said, sure. What you need to do, it's not actually, you can't call us. You need to call your senior lead police officer of District 2. And I said, okay, so you're passing the buck too, because the cops told me to call you.
Right.
And now you're telling me I need to call somebody.
Right.
So I called that person. They don't pick up the phone. They put you to voicemail. And that led about a month ago back because there's a zombie encampment around the corner. And I'm trying to get rid of it because it terrifies everybody that lives in my community.
Yeah.
So, finally, I was driving home on Sunday after.
You're trying to get rid of the chilliness.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to do something and fix my community, Dylan, is where I'm rounding this out.
Yeah.
And do
Tending
the due
to the
diligence and
garden
not
he
give
can
up.
touch.
Yeah.
So I was driving home from Menchie's with my daughter who loves gross yogurt.
Yeah, that's a subpar yogurt place.
And the wife and I always, this path that we take home, maybe you, Dylan, you have a wife, so and you have a girlfriend, Nick.
My wife.
There's certain things that you might see that irritate one of your partners, so you try and avoid it in life. And one of my things is coming home on Riverside, and my wife always sees this particular zombie encampment, and it always starts some anxiety in both of us, especially when we have the daughter in the car. And this particular day, a zombie was throwing rocks at cars.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I told the wife, I said, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I'm going to do, wife. I'm going to give one more attempt at getting rid of this zombie encampment. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to write with spray paint that I'm going to buy from Home Depot on the sidewalk or a fucking wall near the zombie encampment.
Right.
Paul Gregarian is your city council member. He apparently likes this.
Okay, long message.
If you don't, here's his number.
Okay.
And then someone brought up to me, how would you do that with zombies around? And I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
And I said, what I do is I put laundry detergent in a Ziploc bag.
Okay.
And I just throw it on the ground near them. And like zombies, they'd all attack.
No, okay, Pat, you're lacking empathy here, and I think that there's a better strategy. I think you welcome them in. I think they'd be jazzed to help you with the art project, and I think that sentence is way too long to spray paint on a wall.
True, it
He
would
needs
take
a
some
shorter
minutes.
tag.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about that, but I really want to get my point across, and I think it would solve the problem. And obviously, the Ziploc bag with laundry detergent would get them eyes off me, if you know what I mean.
Gregarious city council member, if you don't like what it looks like here, and I don't like what it looks like here either, call this number.
Yeah. All right. So I hadn't worked it fully.
Extension 347.
All right.
I have thoughts, though. You're killing it. You're flowing. I know
All right,
you
but
want to
I'm
get
gonna
out of
wrap
here.
it up.
But I don't want you to wrap it up. I have thoughts that elaborate on your
please
thoughts.
Please do.
I want us to have a conversation.
Please do.
I think, and now I forgot it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, come on.
That was hilarious. No, I forgot it.
No, come on.
I swear to God.
Pull a pen out. Well, you got paper over there.
It is not enough time because I get like irate whenever like if you're I know you're trying to wrap it up.
Just
and we've
jump
gone
and talk
long.
over me like I talk over you. All right, here's what we're going to do. So I finally...
Whatever person you were talking about that thought those zombies would stop you and you needed a game plan was an idiot because those people would think you were shooting them or spraying them and they would either scatter or not move. You could easily have enough time. I still
agree.
think that's too long of a tag
Yeah.
to try to get known within. That was a thought I forgot.
I'm workshopping it. So instead, I chose to call 311 after I did my research online because no one's helping me. So I called 311. And the first time I did it, it said, would you like to report a zombie encampment? It was like a homeless encampment. So I pressed 3. Boop. It goes through 10 things. It never mentions homeless encampments. God forbid LA City doesn't have their shit together.
Okay.
So then I start dialing around. You know what you always need to do? Little secret you should know. Press 0. A number will start ringing. Someone picked up after 45 minutes.
Okay.
I talked to a nice woman named Lauren.
Did you say that a little secret is to press 0?
Yeah, that means talk to a person.
Yeah. Sometimes.
That's my step 6 before I break my phone, but I've definitely attempted that on all customer service. But you got Lauren on the phone. She gave you some info, some helpful info. She probably solved the zombie problem, right?
Yeah.
She heard all my thoughts, and I was very polite. And she said, can I have your email? And so today, a week later, I got an email that says, our investigation shows this location is a homeless encampment.
As.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it tells me, I guess I can look up what they're going to do. But she already told me the breakdown. And now I'm going to show a picture of what it took LA City to deem a location A homeless encampment.
Okay.
This was today, this morning. You know, I try and do prep for my show, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, 0 in there.
Okay.
Gee, I wonder what they would have thought this was, other than that.
So you're saying it took them too long to realize that this was a homeless encampment?
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Pat? It's a bad one. I gotta say it sends a chilliness out in this neighborhood a little bit. But honestly, it's not really anywhere fucking near Club Freeway.
Right.
And like Gower, I mean, that is. It looks like, I mean, it's a new city. It's like, you know, I'm not saying Bombay looks like that. I'm sure there are beautiful parts of Bombay, but it's like this new, like, sprawling, like, lawless city. And I'm not saying that Bombay is like a sprawling, lawless place.
The zombies are all sleeping.
It
was at 8 in the morning.
I sent you guys a video of Club Freeway the other day, and I was afraid to pull out my phone. And I gave a little bit of like some of the just. They're not even zombies. These are fucking.
There's a guest list.
But you talked about Gower. I was scared.
Yeah.
I walked through the Club Freeway.
Yeah.
I get scared, and I'm like, I'm never taking that exit again when I go past Gower.
Mm-hmm.
That is a different world.
It's a sprawling city, and maybe they have the kind of camaraderie that needs to bubble out to the rest of us. We need to end this chilliness. We need to shake
it all
hands.
together, Pat.
We need to wave, and we need
be active in the community is one point.
And we need to love.
Hands across America.
Okay, well, don't.
This feels like us.
All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week. iTunes reviews, Patreon, and things. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Nick, I don't think I've ever touched your hand.
It's very clammy. It's
weird.
disgusting. Nick, say goodnight.
It's hot in here. Goodbye.
I'm out of here.
Your hand's clammy too. That's